I've been playing a lot of SSF2 beta recently, but in these few months, there's a few characters who I just never seem to come across in my matches. These characters just aren't picked very often, and sometimes I even forget they're in the game. These are the characters who you just don't really see getting picked online. You don't see them getting combo videos, notable tournament results, or even having dedicated mains. Now I'm not saying nobody plays these characters, because I'm sure every character has at least some players, but these characters I'm going to talk about are, from my experience, the least popular or the least picked in the game. So this will be my experience from playing the game and watching tournaments. These are the characters who really just get super underrepresented and are underplayed because they're just either not very fun, not very good, or just simply not very popular. This is why I'm going to call them the forgotten characters, because these are the least common characters I've encountered while playing SSF2 online. Anyways, the first one, to probably no one's surprise, is Yoshi. Yoshi is by far one of the least popular characters in almost every Smash game besides maybe Smash 64. In both Melee and Smash 4, Yoshi is incredibly underrepresented, besides maybe one or two players playing the character. And that's not much different in SSF2. This is most likely because Yoshi isn't that popular and he's not that easy to play, but also because in SSF2's case, he's just not that good. At least from every tier list I've seen, he's always been ranked considerably low. Even in 0.9b, where he was much better, there was basically no Yoshi players who entered tournaments or really were that active at all. Besides a couple pockets or one or two players, he really had no representation and just wasn't that very popular. I was a big fan of Yoshi in 0.9b, but because of his nerfs in beta, I haven't really touched him that much. It's just not as fun for me to play. I know some people still enjoy him, but overall I just find him less fun since his nerfs. And as far as tournament results go, he's not really getting much. So hopefully you few Yoshi mains out there get some buffs to your character, because as of right now he's not really in the best spot. Another unpopular character I never seem to find online is Chibi-Robo. Since beta's release, I'm pretty sure I've only fought one or maybe two Chibi-Robos. Chibi-Robo's not bad, he's just really unpopular. I only know a few people who play Chibi-Robo, but even then, he doesn't get much great tournament results. And overall, he's hardly picked on online matches. I think part of that is because he's an obscure character who's new to SSF2, so a lot of people probably aren't familiar with him or haven't tried him out and played him that much. He also has a weird and unique playstyle, which makes him difficult to learn for new players. I don't play Chibi too much myself, but I do find him pretty fun when I do play him. But it would seem that Chibi players are not that common these days, and you really have to go out of your way to play against one. He's a pretty fun and decent character, but very unpopular and rare to find online. Another pretty uncommon character when it comes to tournament representation and popularity is Suit Samus. While ZSS had really good tournament results in 0.9b, she has little to no player base or results in beta so far. I'm not completely sure why this is, since she's not that bad and I think she's pretty fun to play, but I guess she's just not that popular. She doesn't have that many well-known players in beta, and she only had a few in 9b. I know a few people who have some pocket ZSSs, but when it comes to dedicated mains, she's really lacking. Maybe it's just me, but I hardly ever see ZSS online, and she's one of my least familiar matchups because of it. The next character I want to talk about is probably the least expected to be on this list because, well, you'd expect them to be pretty popular. I'm talking about Bandana Dee, a character who was extremely hyped up before release, but now that beta's out, has basically no representation or players. The player base for Bandana Dee is a lot smaller than you would have imagined, and it's really sad to see. I really love Bandana Dee, and I hope he gets more players soon because I really want to see his metagame evolve. Even with Alfred's video on Bandana Dee, I was expecting a lot more people, but after release there were hardly any. It's very unfortunate. I really do hope he gets some more Bandana Dee mains on the come up. We need people who can really push the character and show what he can do, because as of right now, there's hardly anyone doing it. And from a lot of people I talked to, they all seem to agree that Bandana Dee just doesn't have the amount of players they expected, and it's a little bit underwhelming. And lastly, to finish it off, is by far the least common character, which is Bomberman. From my experience, Bomberman is incredibly underplayed. In 0.9b, he had a few dedicated mains who were active in the community, but in beta, he barely has anyone playing him. I know of just a few people who play him, but besides that, I never seem to come across Bomberman. This is probably because he's not very easy to learn since his specials are sort of weird and they take getting used to, and his playstyle is a little strange, as well as the fact that his recovery isn't great horizontally, making it easy to edgeguard. Or it could just be that he's not a very popular character because, well, I just never really seem to see him. I definitely see every other character more often than I see Bomberman, and as far as I'm aware, there aren't any Bomberman mains who are doing very well in tournaments in beta. Although Bomberman did have some pretty good results in 9b. So overall, Bomberman is just not very popular, and maybe in the future we'll see some really good Bombermans come up, but as of right now, his metagame has pretty much stopped. Anyways, those were just 5 characters I see the least, which is why I call them the forgotten characters. If there's any characters you think I missed, then tell me in the comments below. Anyways, thanks for watching.